As always, take a nice 1 or 2 seconds to make sure the buttons have all worked. There's a famous story about me trying to screen share once, probably about a year or so ago, and my screen sharing technique did not go well. No sound, no nothing, just going from there. So anyway, we'll persevere. Looks like we're all live, so that's good. So welcome everyone. Baseline Drunks Live. Hope your Sunday night is going well. I'm Hendo, as always. Name doesn't change week to week. And joining me tonight is the ever mighty Carpet Punter. G'day, mate.
Hey, mate. Hello, everyone.
And as well as the man, this is a pretty good intro, as well as a man who has taken the hobby to some wild new landscapes over the years through his work with Tops and, of course, his own licensed trading cards, Australia's own Tyson Beck. How are you, mate?
Good. Thanks yourself. Thanks for the pump up there.
Welcome, Tyson.
Cheers, CP.
Yeah, I try my best. Well, I don't have any backing music, so I can't do like the the Titanic theme or anything like that to really pump it up. So try and do my best. But how you been, man? You going all
right? Yeah, surviving, getting through it all best as I can. But like everyone in Australia, I guess it's just weird times, and everyone's either struggling in some regards or something's affecting them. So just doing my best to get through each day.
I think everyone is pretty much in exactly the same boat when it comes to that. So it's day by day, week by week. Every state's a bit different, but I think one of the good things, I suppose, is that I know for me, but for a lot of others that have spoken on this show as well, is just that the hobby, it's no real accident, I guess, that the hobby sort of took off the way it did over the last 18 months, because I don't know, it's a bit of a combination of being at home, online shopping, rummaging through your old stuff, recollecting all these old ideas and old collections that you've had in the past. So, but I mean, your stuff has been booming for quite some time now in terms of where you outlet, whether it be by yourself or whether it be through Tops or the like. But like, how have you found it, especially like the last 18 months in terms of the market itself?
Yeah, last 18 months is huge. I guess, like, when I look at all the past projects, I've never really wanted to do the prestigious hobby boxes and everything. Everything I do with Tops, like in the previous, it was Tops Fire, or there was other Tops baseball projects and stuff, but it was all like easily accessible stuff. All my cards, kids can get it. It's a cheap packet. Like even my UFC cards was $25 a box, and you're guaranteed an autograph. Very, very good money. Like I've always tried to make it, do projects that are accessible. But I guess like when you look at it, none of the cards are really worth that much. Well, I guess the UFC ones blew up a little, but because it's so accessible and easy to get at Target, and it's not like hobby exclusive. There wasn't like a huge, I guess like money making like investors into my products. And I'd see stuff online all the time, like people just trashing them. Just I guess because it's like, let the kids have these
let people talk. They can talk, whatever. It's only words. You're the one that's actually putting the product out there, mate.
Yeah, no, I saw it as a good thing. I was just like, I don't want investors buying my stuff. Like, I don't want this whole people just grabbing it just to try and turn it into a profit. The whole reason for Tops Fire was like to have an alternative, to have something fun, cool. It was actually like the whole design process was to get especially with baseball, that's so like kind of traditional and like at the end of the day pretty boring like looking designs, and especially 5-6 years ago, we were just trying to do something different that kids might like, that would bring them into the hobby. So yeah, that's kind of how that started. But since I guess the last 18 months, Tops Project 2020, that kind of blew up, where I had like my first card, which was Dwight Gooden. Hadn't even heard of him before, who he was. Just put it out there. I thought it sucked because I had like the worst player. Like it was like we were meant to do like the 20 most like iconic cards of all time, and I get Dwight Gooden first, and I was like, what is this? Like
you're expecting Mickey Mantle or something?
Yeah, or like something big, and obviously like which is kind of funny. Obviously, it got like a really low print run, which actually ended up being the lowest print run of the set. And also the other thing is, I remember when that card came out, like Australians couldn't purchase it. There was a weird thing with Tops, like Australia couldn't go on the site. You were blocked out of the site. So a lot of the people couldn't get one. And I think, you know, in a way, it kind of helped blow up my stuff because you had all these stories where people bought a $20 card, actually $15 if you bought a 10 pack. I think it was 10 pack. And people were flipping them for 3K USD within six to 8 weeks. And that blew my mind. Some guy messaged me, said he profited 15K. I think it was 15K either USD or AUD.
Profit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. and I was just like, that's like, 10, 15 times more than I got to do the actual card.
Well, you make a good point though on the Tops Fire stuff and sort of talking about where it sits in the market and what the actual expectation is. We've talked about it on here before with these guys. I've got the Paddy Mills one right in front of me, but just like your NBA hoops, your standard, you know, Coles issue, you know, there are people out there that do post them constantly, just going, oh, what do you reckon I can flip these for or whatever. And the vast majority of people, I think, have got it figured out in their head that these aren't there to go and make a massive profit on. You know, you might as well buy a Powerball ticket, really. I mean, the most expensive card you're going to find at Coles, I think, is probably LaMelo Ball, and you'll probably get about $20 for it now.
Yeah.
So I think expectation of the market is a huge thing, and you know, whether people are in it for investing or whether they're in it to have a bit of fun, having the ability to choose a product for what they want to do is really cool, I reckon. So
yeah, well, for me, I guess like my negativity of like, I guess the resale market was mainly based on like, you know, especially people that knew me actually personally. Like, you know, I kind of I remember when the baseball cards were blowing up, there were other ones selling for 600 USD after like 2 days after they were at $20. And I had friends reaching out going like, because obviously I get a discount with Tops, and they were like, oh, can you buy them, you know, for me, and you know, I'll resell them. And I was just like, nah, like if you want to buy one yourself.
Well, you become a cash cow for people, did you?
Yeah, but
that's
also
a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, but I just found it annoying because they're like, I saw definitely a lot of people that I knew were like, oh man, I wish I got that like Dwight Gooden guard, or I wish I got whatever the, you know, the early cards, and like they didn't want it. Like
they didn't
want the card. They didn't wish they had the card. They wish they had the money that they could have traded it for. So it was just funny because people like, you know, I really appreciate people that support me by getting it. You know, if they sell it, whatever, they can sell it. It doesn't matter. But when people were like, oh, I wish I got that because I could have turned it into that money. I was like, well,
it's all right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I wish I could have come to your wedding because I wanted that really good meal. It's like, well, it wasn't really about the meal, man.
But I don't mind if it's random people online. They're like, oh, I'll kick him, you know, oh, I was working that day, I should have got. But when it's like people, you know, like actually like friends, like, or people I haven't even spoken to like 10 years since high school, and they're like, oh, kicking myself, and then they message me going, oh, do you reckon it's going to be worth buying this one? Is this one going to blow up? And I just feel like, buy it if you want it. Like,
I should have been buying your shit already.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of funny, but yeah, that whole kind of, and the way, I guess I never really, like I said with Tops Fire, I never looked into the resale market. I just do stuff like I used to autograph, you know, cards with Tops, and and obviously had players that auto them, and we never really looked at them. Like obviously, I think like some Conor McGregor autos and Ronda Rousey went for a lot. Maybe there's some Mike Trouts in Fire that went for a lot, but I mean, outside of that, it's there's probably not huge values, but now, so I remember last year I definitely went down the wormhole of like, you know, checking every day to see, you know, things, especially my own cards as well, with like, you know, some of the athletes, and you know, going, you know, just seeing what they were. But I promise, like it was about a few months ago this year, I was just like, nah, I'm not looking at eBay once this year. Like I don't even know, like it's just, I don't want it to impact me or make me choose either way. Like I just want to put out the cards, and you know, and if they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, one of the questions I did want to ask you specifically, and it's kind of in line with that, is like when did it first happen where you thought, like, you know, your artwork might end up on a trading card? Because obviously you've been designing for a long time, and you knew you were good at it. You enjoyed doing it. I remember going back a ways when you first, or the first time I spoke to you, I think, and the first time I noticed that you were sort of starting to blow up a bit was when you were doing like a lot of the promo graphics and that for was it I'm going to get it wrong, but TNT or ABC, or it was around the finals, I think, was
one
of those sorts of times.
Yeah, I was doing stuff at ESPN. I mean, I did branding for the NBA. I mean, it's kind of crazy. You think like all the NBA finals, all the All-Star games, all the events, that was all done from like this little house here in Adelaide. Like it was not a team of people. Wow. It was just me. That's it. And that ran up until 2020. And actually that's why trading cards was so helpful for me. After the pandemic hit, the NBA just, I mean, I don't work for them anymore. Like they just like they never even contacted me back again after working 7 years for them.
That's crazy.
I don't know what happened. I don't want to go into it, but like I still never heard from them. I do work for NBA Canada, which is I absolutely love working for them. But the NBA themselves, I don't know what happened. Like I guess like they had the lockout, they had the Black Lives Matter, they had a bunch of stuff, but I mean, before then I did 7 years of doing like all their branding, their All-Star events and the award shows and NBA finals and everything you saw on social digital that came from me, which is pretty crazy. Obviously it didn't have
that's
my name.
Really cool, man.
I mean,
like to think that comes out of South Australia, man, that's awesome.
And it's
like
and
just as a fellow Aussie, man, that's sick. It's really cool.
No, I appreciate that. But I mean, it was cool. I guess like what was the actual question again? It was about trading.
It was just it was about what when did you sort of realize, or when did you first think your artwork make it onto a trading card? It's just
I don't know.
I suppose it's more hobby centric, but it could apply.
Have you wanted to do that? Have you wanted to like make trading cards like for a long time, and then you finally did it, or was it just something that popped on your lap something just sort of opportunity arose and you were like, let's give this a crack?
So I used to, so from my story with cards is I remember I didn't collect cards at all. I was born in 1989. We went on a family holiday in year 2000 to the States. And there really wasn't like, I loved NBA, and I remember we were in like San Francisco and LA, and I just wanted to buy like as much stuff as we could get, because back then in year 2000 there was nothing in Australia. Like there was maybe a very few like jerseys you could get, but outside of jerseys there was nothing available. So I went into some stores and they were like, there was trading cards there, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I bought like all my pocket money I had. I saved put it together and did trading cards, and I came back home and I was amazed with how nice like looking they were, like as a kid, like anything bright and big, and I got a bunch of
you would have got some sick cards then,
dude. There was so much good stuff. I still got I've got so many Kobe.
I was gonna say, you still got them all?
Yeah, but they're just awful condition, because like
oh really?
Well, I just used to like throw them in my pencil case and bring them to school.
I did similar with some things, but
I mean, no one knew those values and stuff, but I mean, it was funny. So I had like the first edition Charizard, and I've got I've got the first edition in complete set of Pokemon cards. They're in awful condition. Like
they're all butchered.
I mean, but it doesn't matter. Like, but so what happened was there was I absolutely loved it. So I was collecting cards. I used to go into, there was a sports card world shop in Adelaide. I used to go in there, you use my birthday money, Christmas money, whatever. I'd always buy like Lamar Odom or Kobe, because I was a Lakers fan. It was either Lamar Odom or Kobe cards, whatever I could get. Lamar Odom was a little bit cheaper, so I'd usually get Odom cards, and sometimes buying them. But then when I started designing, designing in sports in like 2007, sorry. And when I started designing more, I guess like as you become like, a creative and whatever, you get your own, you start doing your own things, and you start to kind of like, I guess, like judge things, or like look more closely into like the visual look of things. And And I reckon there definitely was a shift around, you know, probably around 2010. I don't know when Panini took over, but maybe around then. But there was definitely a shift in maybe more like just you know, templated designs, you know, just chucking a photo on and like, and for me, like as I was building myself up as a creative, was like, I don't like that stuff. So when that kind of, when I became more into design, I actually became less into trading cards because I used to collect them because of the player and what they look like, but now it's like, oh, I don't like the look of them anymore. So it's just like, well,
I
I'm
was going
out.
to say
So,
there wouldn't be anything there for you. Like
it was so boring.
I imagine if you got all those
Yeah.
ideas running through your head, you'd be looking at everything, and it would look like a.
You'd look at some of those Court Kings designs where people going, "Oh, look at this art." You go, "That's not art. That's just some graphic design student out of uni or something."
Yeah, and not like I'm a pretentious, like, you know, but it was just me. It's like me, like, you know, like me, I had like I'd be on forums and, you know, it would be like 13, 14-year-old kids, like, you know, posting wallpapers for free and doing signatures and avatars. And you're like seeing all these people, kids around the world making these cool stuff. And you're like, man, dude, I would buy that as a trading card. Like, it's so much cooler. Like, and I guess, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, and then how my trading card stuff kind of was brought about. Literally, Topps just reached out to me in an email in 2014, and they just said, "Hey, we're seeing some of your work on Instagram. We like it. Would love for you to make some NFL cards." And I said, "Yeah, you know, cool. Let me know how it works." Like, you know, and they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And they're like, "Well, yeah. So this new product we're gonna make is Topps Fire. We want you to do maybe like an insert card or something, like something cool." And I said, "Yeah, cool. I'm down with that." And I gave them, like, you know, asked for a quote. I gave them a quote. And then like a week later, I reckon they were like, "Hey, instead of doing the insert, do you just want to do every card in the box?" And I was just like,
I priced too cheap, did I?
Yeah, I definitely did it too cheap then. But I was pretty young at the time, I guess. But
no,
so I did the whole
mate.
pop.
Who cares,
Yeah.
mate? Sometimes you do these things, you know.
Yeah,
loss leader.
There, you know.
And I did it 2014, 2015, 16, 17. It's been every year since Topps Fire I've done something. And now I only do like the inserts. I don't do the base cards and like a bunch of other stuff. I only do like 2 or 3 inserts. But that's kind of how it started in 2014. It was just from an email from Instagram.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So just from
That's
social.
Really cool.
So when I see people actually out there, you know, being pretentious and throwing all their shit out there online that I think no one's interested in, maybe I'm the one that's wrong. Maybe people do get found on Instagram. Maybe I should judge less of these other people.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's honestly how every single client has found me. NBA found me from Instagram. And I thought that was fake.
Here I am. I'm not even on bloody Instagram.
Tell you, man.
Man.
You got to do it, CP.
Yeah, I got to. Man, I'm behind in the times.
I was yeah, go ahead, CP.
I was going to say, did you create the Ascension inserts out of Bowman, the latest Bowman?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
They're sick, man. They're a pretty sick card. They're going for good coin too.
Yeah, I guess they wanted me to do like a big hit in the box, which is cool. There's been a lot of like talk about like who did them because I originally had my name on the front of the card, and then they wanted it on the back of the card. And I think with the process of moving it from the front to the back, they left it off.
Right.
I saw that in the comment. I was like, oh,
yeah,
no,
I was kind of like a bit pissed because like also like the end of the day is like, you know, I guess it was, you know, they had my name and advertised me in the checklist, but no one really reads those too much. But
was that because Blake mentioned it at Cherry? He said, "Oh, that's the Tyson Beck." I was like, "Oh, that's sick!" Like, because I knew it was a case hit, but I didn't even realize it was your design.
Yeah, it's a shame my name and logo's not on it, but I don't know, man.
Still, the word will get around. Maybe it's better, you know. It's a bit of an underground thing, and like, you know, those cards might become a bit of a, you know, legend sort of because of it, because they're so rare, and because you got your design and it's not labeled. But you know, people that it's one of those things that if you know, you know. So
yeah, I guess it's just long term though. Like you never know. Like it's crazy with cards. Like hearing about like when people find out about me, it's insane because like they might see something, or find, I don't know, the way they find out about me is always an interesting story. So like the fact that if this is a big case here, it's on lots of say for example breaking videos, and everything they look around, it's got my name. You never know who's watching. Like you never know who's looking at stuff. So I've lost that entire opportunity, I reckon, to, I don't know, have more people find out about me. But is what it is. Mistakes happen.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll bring it up because I wanted to share it. Don't mind the Rogan.
This chat is going off just quietly. We've got Dale, we've got Peter Lee, we've got Cody, we've got everyone in here. Bailey was in here. It's cracking.
There he is.
But
oh yeah, look at that. That looks sick.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to see one in hand, I guess. I haven't been I don't know. Maybe I need to send an email.
I was in that break and that should have been mine, that, but it wasn't.
I was watching that one. I wasn't actually in it, but I know that the chat went nuts when that card came out because the whole chat knew. It's one of those things like it kind of like CP said before, like if you know kind of thing. And it's a lot of the chat was going nuts because they knew it was your design. And then when Blake's flipping the card over, you can sort of see. I think he mentioned it later on, but you can sort of see it when he looks at the card and he can't see the name and the logo and everything's on there. So he was I think he was a bit tilted for a second, and then he sort of just chilled. He was all right.
Yeah, well, I think there's super fractors and stuff of it.
Yeah, I think
those
so.
I think those are on eBay for a big asking price. I don't know if people are buying them yet, but they're but yeah, it's cool. I'm hoping it's like a long-term relationship, but at the end of the day, I'd love to do like a chrome box myself, like a chrome collab,
like a Ben Baller style. Like Tyson Beck, that'd be sick, man.
Yeah, I think it will happen with
for
soccer.
Sure.
There's already been discussions about it.
Yeah, right.
Probably 2023. But yeah, I'm getting into, I think, more soccer cards now, which is cool. Yeah, something different.
With regards to soccer, are you looking at a particular league, or is it just?
It's just
can't say yet, or just open?
No, it's just with Top, so it's the license they have, which is the UEFA Champions League. So they still have cards of like Messi and Ronaldo. Like I just, I'm doing these I did match attacks last year and I did this year, but like it's impossible for any Australian to get them because they drop at like 4 or 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. and they're sold out like before. Well, I didn't even get any of them in my 16 cards or something. I mean, they're not crazy value. It's just, I think match attacks is kind of like a fun card. I think it's kind of like Team Coach AFL sort of thing. They're meant to be like for kids and everything, but I'm in works with trying to do hobby boxes for soccer in Tops, but it will be UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, cool. Because
I'm sure some of the boys in the chat here would be liking that.
Yeah, one particular Bailey's a Chelsea fan, so he wanted me to ask you if you'd potentially do any sort of work with Mason Mount, who plays for Chelsea. But I suppose Mason Mount might fall in underneath, like in the group of players that you're looking at over the course of time. I suppose if you do like a set or an insert set.
Yeah, I'm not a big soccer guy, so I haven't heard of him. But
we all joke no one's heard of him, so it's all right.
I suppose if they make the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll
they
be
make that for whatever year you do it, then he'd get a card.
I'd
assume.
Yeah. And but like the big ones, like I did Mbappe, I guess Ronaldo and Messi is going to be big this season because I actually just did their cards in their new uniforms, so that's cool. I think those will be for match attacks though. But yeah, it'll be a UEFA set, and it will be like labeled Tyson Beck, which is cool on the box and everything.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
Yeah,
to have your name on an actual hobby box, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then I guess if that goes well, the aim is then to get like the tops Chrome Tyson Beck UEFA, and do that. And because I think the soccer market's still like I think that's got the most growth. Because I mean,
Tops would be focusing on that after this whole Fanatics business going on. Like that's one of obviously their biggest cash. That and F1, probably their two biggest cash cows now. So like, yeah, they'd be really pushing the soccer, I'd imagine. And I was going to, speaking of F1, I was going to ask you about that. Have you ever thought about doing a Ricardo or any of these couple other young Aussies coming through?
Yeah, heaps of people keep asking about Ricardo.
It's definitely something that you should look at, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess for me, it's always hard to do, like, because I got to pay these athletes so much money. So it's like when Tops has access to them, it's kind of like, what's the point of doing it myself?
Yeah,
I can always just go to
right.
Tops and go, let's just do a collab, like all three of us just get together and or whatever and do something. But yeah, maybe F1s will definitely be in the mix. I don't really, I struggle to see how my art might cross over to the F1 stuff. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into F1 cards, but I feel like if I did F1 cards, it might be a little bit of a miss for kind of. I don't know.
No, fair enough. Yeah. Because if you don't know, like if you don't know F1 too well, you don't follow it or whatever, then it makes it a bit hard because you're just sort of, like you're trying to force it, the issue a little as an artist, I suppose. Like whereas, the whole you've been collecting baseball or basketball cards for a long time, and like so it's sort of I could imagine how in your mind it sort of doesn't really mesh the whole artwork of your style into F1. But I don't know. I reckon it'd be something cool, man. That like,
for sure. I think it is. I think for like a one-person collab would be easy. Like you can pick up on the if it plays nickname or personality and stuff. But to get a whole set out there, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe like your Paddy Mills style thing. Ricardo.
Yeah,
one or two cards
for
of him
sure.
or something.
Yeah, but he's probably
I'll probably buy half the print run.
Yeah, he's probably one of the most requested people that I get. Like, because people always message me, go, "Oh, you should do something for, Michael Jordan, that kind of stuff."
For Jordan,
Jordan.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
Yeah, I know. They're like, "Oh, Jordan and LeBron and Kobe are pretty much." Everyone just keeps asking, but Ricardo's probably up there, like top 10.
Right.
Yeah, or definitely the most non-basketball and American football player that I get.
That is interesting. You get a lot of requests for him because, like, he is a big name, and obviously you're Australian, he's Australian, and that. But like Formula One in general, a lot of people think, they got this image of, I remember when the cards were first dropping at the start of the year, people were like, this shit, market's going to go nowhere, rubbish, whatever. Why would you buy this shit? Everybody's just bagging it out. And I'm like, man, people don't realize how big the fan base for Formula One is. They just don't realize, like, people don't walk around parading, oh, Ferrari, Red Bull, blah, blah, blah. But man, so many people sit at home on a Sunday night and watch that shit. And they've been watching it for so long and that. And these cards are just proving it because Topps underestimated the market completely with their print runs of the first, Topps Chrome and their Sapphire. So what they've done with this next release, they're going to obviously print a heap more. And you can tell by the way that they were releasing it, with blasters and all sorts of different variants that they're putting out now. But like, I just think that, it's somewhere, if you stuck your nose in there, you could do pretty well for yourself, I think. But not only financially, but just as a name, as an artist, and get more product out there and that, So something to think about.
Think Topps wouldn't have known that the Netflix thing would have literally changed the F1
that
audience.
helped America big time. For so long, America just IndyCar, NASCAR, IndyCar. Like, it's just they're in their own world and they think, oh, like, I don't want to be rude, but they're thinking, oh, we're the best. Our series is the best. That's their mindset. And like, finally, it's taken this drive to survive for them to realize, holy shit, like, IndyCar's like, really, the technology in it's like 10 years behind Formula One. Like, Formula One is up there with NASA as far as technology goes, like the materials that they use and everything and the componentry and that. And I think it's just taken so long for people to realize it's much more than just a sport. There's so much that goes into it. Like, like if you've got a kid that, okay, he might not be the driver, but mate, any kid can grow up and be an engineer. Any kid could grow up and be a wheelman on one of those cars, Anybody can grow up and be part of that actual sport. Like, in basketball, unless you're a coach or a player, like, you're never going to get a gig. I mean, you may get lucky, get a, like a referee's job or something if you go down that path, but you can never really be involved in the game. But there's so many opportunities There's so many dreams for kids to have in Formula One. That's what I've always loved about that sport. Like kids can be so involved in it, like because not only from a sporting level but also educational and everything. So yeah. But anyway, that's my little spiel on Formula One.
I think that's interesting though, CP. When you say a lot of different people can be involved, on the card front too. I mean, they had in that set, that Topps Chrome set, they had all different people from within
all the team
those
managers,
F1 teams, managers, and principals, and then you got pictures of the cars, then you got the drivers. Like it was fairly diverse in that regard. So yeah, I found it interesting as well. It's good. It's good. So we'll put you down for Danny Ricciardo. That's good. We've become a statistic and asked about that now. So that's good. I wanted to ask you. I'm hoping this is a little bit of a different question that you might not have been asked before. But out of all the pieces that you've done now, whether it be on card or whether it just be design in general, do you have one that like bugs you that you wish you could go back and change? You don't have to say what you'd change, but I'm like. Because I always just think of at any level of creativity, you're always evolving, and you're always changing, and you're always pushing yourself, I'm sure, to just try and do bigger and better things. I think a lot of people can look back on their very early work, and you got to have pride because it's part of the stepping stone that got you to where you were. But I'm just wondering, like, is there just one piece that you just go, shit, I wish I'd just done that little thing different?
Well, it's actually, sadly, it's all pieces. It's not one because my wife banned me. We have if you would most people would find it hilarious if they looked in my house. We've got a whole row down our hallway. We've got a whole row of 3M hooks, and there's nothing on there. Because what I would do is I would keep replacing them like new pieces every year. And my wife would be like, "Why? Like, you really like that? Why are you throwing it out, or why are you replacing?" And I was just like, "Nah, I hate it now. I can't look at it." Like, because I guess as like every year you get better and better and better. Like, I cannot stand looking at. I have blank walls everywhere. Even like this office space here is just blank everywhere. Yeah, it would be all pieces because if I could dive back on anything before today, I'd be able to improve on it, I think. Because it's just in the natural progression in design and art. You get better every year, and if you're not improving, well, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I imagine when you hear certain music artists, and they may have had a massive hit, and then they keep creating, and whenever they're at a live show, people always ask them to play that old hit, and you can always just see. They don't always show it on their face, but I imagine they're rolling their eyes a bit, just thinking, man, like if I could just escape this bloody song, I'd be wrapped, So yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
Yeah, I definitely had that. I don't know. Most people wouldn't know in the chat or whatever, but there was like, I think it was maybe during the lockout. I actually can't even remember, but it was one year I just like, I did this funny thing on Instagram where I just changed the hair of current NBA players and former NBA players. And it kind of blew up. Like there was just so many, I don't know, so many, they just got reposted, liked and shared a lot or whatever. But I went, it was funny when I went to America a month after that. And I went into the NBA office to actually NBA 2K flew me over. I think I can't remember which game it was, but they flew me over to do like the unveiling of the game, and they wanted me there to do I don't know, to be at the event or something. And everyone at the event was kind of like, I don't know, influencer or something to do with like internet or something. And there's me, and like, everyone's just like, no one really knows me or whatever. And people would introduce themselves or whatever. And, I'm just like, oh, hi, I'm Tyson Beck. I, do design work and stuff online. And it would be like someone would be like, "Oh, you're the hair guy," and I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, you're the hair guy. And I was just like, "What?" Like, nah. And I was just like, "Yeah, cool. Yeah, I did that." And I was like, "Oh, that was a fun. Like, I do like serious things. Like, it's not like I'm not like a meme. I don't make memes." Anyway, so that 2K event that happened, and then the next day I went to the NBA office, who I've like worked for like 3-4 years. Like the person taking me around, it's like, "Oh yeah, this is blah 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 from marketing. This is blah 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 from I don't know, whatever, another department. They're like, "Oh, you're the guy that does the hair swaps," and I was just like,
"So really, it kicked off that much? That's
yeah,
amazing."
yeah. Like, everyone in the NBA office, like, and
I'll put some up on screen while you're talking because it's. I remember when it. You really don't want me to do it? People are
no, I don't care. I don't care. It was just funny, like.
You look at some of this stuff, like it's hilarious.
Oh, you found it, yeah. That was a LaMelo Ball. But you know what? 3 or 4. You know the crazy thing is, 3 or 4 players ended up changing their hair. Tim Duncan, pretty much, his hair changed to what I did. Dwayne Wade.
Last time I seen him, like he had a pretty cool hair going on, and I'm like,
that's what and
what's going on with Tim Duncan? He's like Mr. Boring. Like,
yeah, if you put Tim Duncan,
is that because of you? Is
dude? No, Dwayne Wade 100% changed his hair. So if you look at there's a D Wade.
AI.
If you did D Wade, it's like 3rd row down. His his 3rd row. He had that hairstyle. If you look at his graduate, he did that exact same hairstyle, and he commented on it, so I knew he saw it.
Yeah, that's mad.
Reggie Miller there.
Dirk commented. Giannis commented.
I think my favorite one, and you might get this a fair bit, is Porzingis.
People like the Jordan one. Oh, the Porzingis. Oh yeah,
I've spelt that wrong.
Oh, the one on the right. It looks like a lesbian or something.
Porzingis.
It's 2nd row on the right. I can see it.
Is it? Whereabouts? Yeah. Oh, here we go. that's legit my favorite. That I remember seeing that when you posted that. You had it on like a little on Insta with the little album. And when I flicked to that one, I legit lost my shit. Like I legit lost it. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, I legit lost it when I saw that. And I think the other one that you just designed for a bit of fun, and then he ended up doing it was Steph Curry, because
Steph Curry did the high top fade. Yeah. But yeah, it was crazy. I had players in my DMs asking me if they could do one. Baron Davis hit me up, said he so that's why I ended up doing one of him in the set. It was just weird. But you know the strangest thing that came out of it, and I'm talking, I'm not over exaggerating. I would have had over 300 people, probably in the span of a couple months, reach out to me and say, "Hey, here's a photo of me," and they do a selfie side-on shot. Could you Photoshop dreadlocks on my hair or an afro, whatever it was, because my mum won't let me get a haircut, and I want to show to her that it looks good on me.
Oh my
God, dude! Like, this isn't.
Wow.
This is
surely there's an ad for that.
Yeah, what a side market.
Yeah, I know. I never responded to any of them.
Yeah, it must be really challenging though to be able to get like that many DMs and that much like just inbound traffic in terms of people wanting to engage with you, and you've got to be really smart about who you engage with. It must be a bit of a shit show sometimes, especially when you're talking about like 300 people getting in touch. Yeah, but just in general, like, I mean, you can't just ignore all of it because there's opportunity comes knocking.
Yeah, I mean, mainly the people that are hitting me up now are just agents, just wanting me to do cards of their player. They just want money from me. They don't care about it. So that's the most annoying thing. You know, everyone thinks they've got the hottest player, and especially in like the worst is the Neil stuff. Dude, I've had hundreds of these freaking requests to do these college athletes trading cards.
Really?
I have no interest. I'll never do a college players unless it's like a Zion or like, you know, like, it's just, I mean,
unless it's some freak.
Yeah.
Like a once in a gen like player like Zion or Shaq or, you know, that sort of style. Like, I mean, I find out that, I mean, in anything, like you look at the NBA trading card market, NFL, like I found out that like nobody wants the college uniform version of it. Well, not nobody, but like, you know, everyone wants them in their pro league uniforms. So, but also like, I don't know. I don't follow college close enough to actually know if these guys are good or not. But I don't know. Like, it's just
I usually found out on draft day. I find out about the college players on draft day.
Yeah,
I'm terrible for that.
Same, but I'm not much of a follower of college.
these agents though, like they must just be signing up these kids, promising the world to them, being like, "Oh, I'll ink you on all these deals," and they just must be going out to everyone like.
But the big damn wall, is broken because now college athletes can earn, and so that's going to be a massive.
There must be so many new agents.
Oh, there'd be heaps.
Wouldn't there? Because imagine how many players are now eligible to make money in college. Because it's not only like it's every sport in college, right? So the whole NCAA in it. So man, like that's far-reaching. That is a far-reaching, like not
look at the sort of money they used to make
organization. Like man.
Yeah. Well, the funniest one I got was it was a basketball player. Never heard of him before. But they were like, "Oh, it'd be a great opportunity not only to make some money, but to lift your brand and get more people, noticing your trading cards, because this player has 800 followers on social media." I was like, "What?" I don't know.
I just blocked 800 people, mate. Come on.
Yeah, I thought that was the funniest one. Like, I couldn't read that and not laugh. Like that was like, I mean, not only is this like an opportunity to make money, but it's you can leverage off of his 800 followers.
Yeah, it sounds like something we'd say. Exactly. It's like, hey, card ladder, get involved. You could reach 50 people.
Still after that free subscription.
Yeah, we're seeking out a free subscription. We'll see how we go. We probably need to give a little bit more to get a little bit more, but we'll see how we go. Now I know we're not pushing right up on time, but we've got probably about 15 minutes or just under to go with you. So I just wanted to touch on a couple of bits and pieces. One, I wanted to touch on the Boomers release because being part of like the Cherry Discord and seeing a lot of people getting up and about for the Boomers release, it was massive amongst basketball fans and massive amongst the hobby. Just the getting over the hump of getting a medal was crazy enough in itself, but the release before and during the Olympics was pretty crazy. I just wanted to know what it was like working with the likes of Paddy and Josh Green, because I've worked with Paddy very loosely a long time ago, but he was an absolute champion of a dude then, and I imagine he's very much the same now.
Yeah, I mean, I signed him up in January, so it wasn't like I didn't see it. I didn't just do it because it's like, oh, he's been the flag bearer, I'm going to jump on this.
Yeah.
I signed him up in January. It was a plan for 7 months. And it was always, maybe if Josh Green had an insane rookie season, if he was going to be rookie of the year or something, I would have dropped it earlier. But it was, planned to get something out for Australia. I mean, at the time, I guess I didn't even know if the Olympics were going to happen because there were still talks of it not going ahead.
Yeah,
but,
crazy. Exactly.
I just, so I'm happy to take a risk, and especially on Australian, I'm happy to take a punt on them. But I wish I knew Thibault was Australian. I would have done 3 cards. I would have got the third one. I didn't even know Thibault was Australian, which is a bit sad. But anyway,
he went off. They
didn't advertise it very well. I will say that they didn't advertise that he was Aussie very well. Like, I mean, we knew, like, because obviously, like, we're fans in the card game as well, whatever. But like, yeah, it's not like he's a household name in Australia. But you ask a lot of people, they'll know who Paddy Mills is.
Yeah, I didn't know about them, but it was funny because like I get a sense, like I remember, like, I mean, like the Tatum was my first drop, and I was so nervous because like it literally cost like half my house to happen. Like,
really,
like it's just an expensive, and it's a massive risk because at the end of the day, if it doesn't go well, like the player gets paid up front. The printer gets paid, the packet, like everyone gets paid but me.
You stand there last in line, and you've done a lot of the work.
It's a massive risk. So if anything, like, that's like not only like, even if I turn it into a profit, like at the end of the day, it's like even when you take out the fact that your time it's spent on it and all that, well, it's still a risk. It's kind of like putting, like say 6 figures down on shares or something, and you want it to turn into something, like you're putting a risk down. So you hope to turn it into a profit, if not break even, is probably it should still be a goal, because at least you can move forward and do something else. But I remember seeing the Tatum one, and I was like, I didn't know how it would go because I'd never done one before. and I mean that sold out so quick, it was ridiculous. And I mean, so and then you know, Kuzma did well, and then Hero was insane. Like, got him at the perfect time. It sucks that he hasn't had a good second season, but I actually reckon he's going to kill it in his third season.
I still believe in Tyler Hero. I still believe.
Yeah.
I reckon last year, I reckon it's going to cover off with a few different players too. And I mean, he's an obvious one because he was so under the microscope in the finals before that. But I think there's going to be a heap of players that there's going to pop back up again because it's just such a weird couple of years.
And long term, like, he doesn't sign trading cards anymore. So,
oh really?
Nah, he doesn't
know that. Okay.
Nah, it was actually really funny. Like, interesting story is, like, he actually sold, like, his autograph was owned by like some like little store in Miami, like a little shop. So you had to like pay a premium on top to get his autograph, and like Panini would be the same thing. But I know like he stopped autographing cards. Like, you know, that's his mind might change in a few seasons, but you know, that's why I like getting, like, you know, I got Kuzma. He doesn't autograph cards anymore, so I was like, great, like, you can't get him anymore. His championship season, there would have been no Panini cards signed by him in his championship season, I don't think. Same as like Donovan Mitchell, he doesn't sign anymore, so I was like, I'm gonna get these guys that don't sign anymore. And Donovan, I mean, I wish they won the championship because I would have got his only championship signed cards. Signed cards in his championship season. But yeah, and so a lot of these guys don't sign anymore, so it leaves the opportunity for me. But where I was going with this is, like, I guess, you know, I've done a lot of athletes now. I can kind of sense, I can get a good feel of how well it's going to go. Like, and which is actually unfortunate because some of them haven't gone well. Like, I've lost money on and stuff, but like, you know, that's life. You move on. No one's in a business that you're just going to make money on everything you do. But the funny thing is, like, the Patty, I was getting so much interest from Patty, and I knew, like, outside of Tatum, I reckon I got more interest in Patty, and it was good because, like, I kept on getting like people that you know, give me advice and that kind of stuff. And you know, I had my, you know, I was confident I had my prices pretty low on the autographs, and then throwing in like the free base card as well with that, or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's still a limited edition card. It's not really a common card. But people were like, oh, you got to move it up. And I didn't. I kept it low, and I was happy I did, because I think what I've experienced is, because I sold them, in my eyes, I sold them way too cheap. Like, I think
quite possibly, yeah.
It was like $100 USD for an auto, I think. Maybe. But then also you got like a 40 USD. Like, the auto itself costs 60 USD, I guess, when you take out the base card. But I'm happy I sold it cheap, because what I've noticed is that not like people have showed me and everything, and someone else's look. There's nothing in the secondary market really. And yes, obviously the autograph cards aren't out. It's been taking a long time to get it, but people do pre-sales all the time. But even the base cards, people aren't putting that in the secondary market. And I think that's the beauty of selling it cheap, is that it went to the right people, the people that wanted it. And I think, putting a cheap product out, in my eyes, I think it really helped. And I was happy I did that. But I will have.
Do you keep any for yourself? Like, you got to at least keep a couple, wouldn't you?
Well, I held back selling 5 autos.
Okay, yeah.
I've got like some. I think, I can't remember what it is. I got to actually, because I've shipped out the autograph cards so long ago, I can't even remember what I did.
Yeah.
But I think I got him maybe to write. I did some inscription cards, like him got write flag bearer, and there's some dual sign cards. I didn't sell any of those.
Wow.
I might go and sell with them later, or just keep them myself. I don't know. But or I don't know, run them in a contest or whatever. But I will have more Patty Mills cards coming up. The reason I did tell people they were going to go on sale, but I'm not comfortable with, you know, putting more Patty Mills cards on sale while people are waiting for the, you know, their autograph cards
the other ones still. Yeah.
So I've waited on that, but it'll just be a Brooklyn card, because obviously you change teams. Be him in Brooklyn. And then it will be like a 42-point game card from like the final game, the bronze medal game, or rose gold, or what, you know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Now with that Brooklyn card, do you just put like the grey black jersey sort of on there, but you can't actually show the Nets or symbol, or can you put the Nets symbol and everything on there? Like, can you have? How does that work?
I guess like that's what Panini had. Like, yeah, can't use logos.
Is that because that's like part of the license, right? Isn't it? So
yeah, that's all they have.
So what you just do like so the best thing is probably do like a back shot of him, so you get the whole jersey in that, and then you get his name or something. I don't know how you do the card, but it's obviously up to you the design.
Well, yeah,
because you want to be able to maximize the. Yeah. Like that's what you see them do in baseball, like Panini. Where they're unlicensed. All the shots of the big players are always their back, because like you can get the whole player, and there's no like logo on the back. So and then it still shows the name. Shows the whole name of the player on the jersey and that, and like you get a full shot of them. But like,
most people prefer a front-on shot though.
They do though. That's right. You're right.
Yeah, if you look at my cards, they're pretty much all front-on. But the beauty of it is that I can artistically remove the logo and still make it look nice. Whereas Panini can't do that because it's literally just they're using the actual photo.
Yeah.
And
the Tatum one was great with that because it had Beantown across the front. And at a very first glance, there's so many little subtle. That's what I really like about your stuff, man. Is that there's always one more thing to look at. Always one more thing to find. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not just a straight. Like, if we compare them to, well, just not to anything in particular, but if you compare them to different things out there in the market, it's like, yeah, okay, it's themed. Something you see is themed, and bang, there it is. And once you've looked at it once, you've sort of got the whole picture. With your stuff, like, it's just, like, I don't know, police line do not cross, or it might be a Statue of Liberty in the background, or it might be all these tiny little elements. I think it's entertaining it's so much fun.
Just try and throw something in. But I mean, I guess I don't use logos, and I guess it makes me get creative in terms of just not using filling up the space or doing something. I mean, if I could use logos, it'd be amazing. But who knows? Maybe I'll be doing stuff with Fanatics in 5 years' time. I don't know.
That was going to be my questions if we didn't run out of time. Have you given them a phone call yet, or have they been on the phone to you yet?
Yeah, I've always the way I've always done business is never reach out to anyone. Because
okay, right, yeah.
I've never reached out. I've never asked for anything because
That's interesting.
Yeah, I get it so much. Like people reaching out to me, and then like they'll go like, "Oh, I need advice on this, that, and the other," like because I want to work with the NBA and all that. But it's just like I honestly think that the best thing is never to reach out. Just do your thing, do it online. You're going to get discovered if you do good work. I believe you're going to get discovered. The beauty of that is if someone reaches out to you, like the ball's in your court because like, you're not trying to sell yourself. Like they already want you. Whereas like if I reached out to I know other designers that they pester like teams, they pester leagues, and like they might do it that often that then they think their work sucks because like they're not getting the opportunity.
We can have the reverse effect, if you keep getting told no or you keep getting ignored, it might actually make it feel worse. But it's got nothing
to do with that. It's just like whatever, either they're not seeing it or they don't need someone at the time or whatever. I just do the work, and if someone comes out, so like for example, Fanatics reached out to me last year. I guess when a lot of my stuff was popping with the I actually got a funny story about Fanatics. I don't know if I should say it or not, but
is it about their more than 800 followers?
Go for it, mate. Go on. Go for it.
Well, there's a few things. I mean, that like I've done work with Fanatics before. Like I've done like Steph Curry memorabilia pieces. I've done some other ones. Whatever. I don't think they're big Python. Chandler Parsons and Joakim Noah. But yeah, this was like ages ago. But yeah, they reached out last year. They saw that like my stuff was popping, and they wanted me to do like a Luka X Tyson Beck line of memorabilia and a Zion X Tyson Beck line of memorabilia, and Luka and Zion would sign it. I would sign it, Juice Sigs, everything. But we were unable to. I do worry about like them in the card game because I don't know if it was because I didn't accept their offer, but there was no royalty. They didn't want to pay me any royalties, and having something
Ruthless.
having something
Ruthless corporation, mate. That's what they are.
That's
pretty much what they are.
things were going to be about, and also like me wanting me to sign the stuff. It was going to be like things were going to sell for like $1,500 USD a piece, and it's like, well, sure. I mean, surely you can even get like 2% or 5% or something, you know. But anyway, the funny story wasn't that. I don't know. It was because if I turn that down, they kind of go a little shitty with me or not. But yeah, they were kind of like looking at the stuff that I do, like the trading cards, and they were saying, no, like that breaches the lines in terms of what they do, because they own the memorabilia space, and that and Fanatics
it's talking legal.
Well, dude, I've got so much people on my case, but that's another. It's
a good thing you probably protected quite a lot under Australian law, eh? Like you're probably lucky that you're in Australia, because you got quite a lot of protection under Australian law, quite a lot of freedoms as an artist. I know that they'd probably try to take you on, but like if one of these big US corporations comes after you, they got to go through Australian courts. Like,
well, at the end of the day, I'm doing nothing wrong anyway.
That's right.
It's just all it's just bullying tactics. Like I'm good with top. I've reached out to top staff, and it's just bullying tactics. They've told me this is what happens. They get the same tactics themselves. But the thing that scares me with Fanatics is they told me that I don't make trading cards. My Tatum things were not trading cards. They are memorabilia. It's not a trading card. Tyler Hero Cruise, everything. It's not a trading card, because a trading card needs to come in a pack. It needs to be opened. A trading card isn't something you buy individually.
It needs to be a set.
If it's sold individually, it's a piece of memorabilia, which is just the stupidest thing ever. So like, these are the guys that are going to be taking over the card game, and they don't even know what a trading card is. Like literally, they don't know what a trading card is, because you look at Tops, and they do Tops now every single day. They sell 1x1 pieces. What the best moment in baseball? Tops Project 2020, which they, that's all 1x1.
It's evolution of the hobby, mate. That's like back in the day, like 30, 40 years ago. Yeah, that's where you could get trading cards. But mate, this is 2021. Like, so much shit's bought online. You know, people aren't going to buy individual packs if we can pick exactly the card we want. You know,
so like, I don't know if that's them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That might just be them not happy that I got Tatum's autograph, and he signed it, under 24 hours, and maybe he takes a lot longer for the big companies, and but yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of fun, but I just found it funny that they said that it's like the company that's got all these leagues in now. They're saying that it's not a trading card if it's sold individually. So essentially, you buy a trading card off eBay, it's not a trading card. It's a piece of memorabilia, unless you buy a box or a pack. That's what they told me.
It's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So in the spirit of time, because I know we don't have very long left.
Shit, we've already been going for an hour.
We can go a little longer. I don't mind if you want to go. If you want to keep going.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I suppose that the next question I only had a couple more sort of lined up, was more around exactly this, sort of looking ahead and sort of looking at what's on the horizon for Tyson Beck, whether that be trading cards in the hobby, or whether it just be in general as an artist. What are you looking forward to in terms of branching out and doing different things, or
just
continuing?
I'm done. Like, I'm so burnt out. I'm looking forward to just packing it in. Like, honestly, I'm not. It's if you saw like a lot of people think I live this glamorous life, or like, oh, this is so cool to do. Like, I wish I was back at Big W stacking boxes like I was in high school. Like, it was more fun than this. It's not fun. There's so much stuff going on. Like, because I guess
is it pressure design? Like, is it like, because I mean the joy and the love of designing is where this is all born from. And I guess it eventually gets so busy and hopefully profitable and hopefully all these things and ticking these boxes. But does it get to a point where, like you say, you get burnt out and it's like, oh, fuck, I just Photoshop. I just want to leave it alone for 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, everything's right. Like, so like next week, like I've got, obviously, like Justin Fields is probably dropping next week. I've got there's another.
Speaking
big...
of that Fields, I just noticed a question in the chat earlier. Do we have a price on that, or you can't say yet?
Like I guess it depends. Like what there's going to be different versions.
There'll be
like,
variants.
Okay. I just think Nico's keen on it. He wants to buy. He's just looking if he needs to start saving or not.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
probably look on. It's going to be. I don't know what fields. I actually really like. I was saying I didn't really. I mean, I've looked on eBay and Fields Auto is ridiculous, like 600 US for like unnumbered ones. Mine's not going to be that price, so it'll be
There you
cheaper than
go.
that.
Gives you a bit of an idea there, Nico.
But I don't know. There'll be. I hope to get out something for everyone, like a cheaper autograph version, then a more expensive, because people people love the more. Like I've noticed that the really rare, high expensive things, they'll sell out the quickest. Then the cheap ones will sell well, but something in the middle kind of struggles to sell.
Yeah,
Or might
right.
be
I agree with
seller.
that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's funny.
You see that in a lot of markets in the card world.
So I don't know. I try and cater for everyone. Like if someone wants a high end, they can get it. I try and make a low end. But I mean, Fields is going huge now. But yeah, for example, like I got Fields. I've got like 3 NFTs. I'm working with players. I got another 5 athlete collabs with trading
What platform
cards.
are your NFTs on?
Well,
TBC or
I think I have to wait until they announce it. But
oh, okay. I was going to say, do we need to all sign up for a new platform or something? Because we're all on OpenSea. We've been buying DigiHorses for a while and a few other things and that. But yeah, there's heaps of different platforms that bloody do NFTs these days.
I don't, dude. Yeah, the NFTs I made, like we've been switching platforms. So I had one with Jason Tatum ready to drop with a platform, and then they were really bad, so we kind of delayed it. Now we're working with a really good platform at the moment.
Okay,
it's called Aria Network. They haven't done a drop yet, but they actually got a 5-year. They got a 5-year license to the NBA Players Association with an exclusivity. So they're going to be dropping retired players. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Are they doing retired players?
Yeah, I won't mention. They've got some big. They've got some really cool ones lined up. I won't mention them, but they're like the GOAT sort of thing. I mean, not Jordan, but like all time greats people be really interested in. And the cool thing about that is they're not like this Tatum one. It's been a 4-month project. We're not just throwing out something because NFTs have got hot in the last few weeks. We could have just thrown out something if we wanted to make heaps of money, but we're trying to make it perfect.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Long term, not just a short term profit thing. You want a long term.
Yeah, but that's the platform. I love it because the other platforms that we've had, it's all about oh no, let's wait a week because blah blah blah. It'll be a better week to make sales on. And it's just but yeah, I've got we were saying that I just don't really have time to everything that I put out is rushed. I never really get the time to sit down and actually because I'm working on so many different projects at once. So yeah, I don't really get kind of time to sit down and devote my time to a specific project. But honestly, I hope my whole goal is I really don't want to be doing this too much longer. I pretty much work 2 full-time jobs. I work every day and night, and I've done that since I was 21 and I'm 32 now. So I'm definitely burnt out, but I want to, when I want to probably, maybe take off next year totally off, or maybe the last 8 months. Basically, I'm trying to go out with a bang with the collabs. I've already got one guy. He's actually signing my cards tomorrow. He's most people would have him either the best or the second best player in the NBA right now. So if that gives a clue away, that gives a clue away. But that's going to be huge.
Wow. I feel good about it. I can think of about probably 3 players that could fit into that category, I reckon.
It's dropping. It will drop opening night,
and
of
they're
the NBA
all
season.
massive. That's all massive.
So what was that, Tyson? You're saying it'll drop?
Any one of those names will be huge.
It'll drop opening night of the basketball season. Yeah, so that I've worked hard on that. Then I'm trying to do another. I've got some small drops, because I like the fact that I can do small drops because it, small players, I guess smaller players, sorry, because it's then a cheaper price point. Bigger the player, the more expensive the card. It just has to be done.
That's like you said before, a bit full circle, but you can find something at everyone's different level. If everything you released was going to be 10 grand, you'd have a certain amount of people that could get that and a certain amount of people that couldn't get it. You know, if everything was $50, you'd have a different range of people. So I like the suggestion from the comments too, that it might be Jackson Hayes or Caruso.
Is it Caruso?
Surely it's not Zion either. He's not though.
No, it's not Zion. That's just Magda. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Giannis is a good shout. KD is another good shout.
Zion.
Steph is a good shout.
Yeah,
so, you know, you could run it. There's a whole lot of names.
But if you don't, I'm pretty close to securing another guy as well. So if you're not happy with this guy, there should be another. So I'm just trying to go out with a bang because I saw how big Tatum was. So trying to get 2 guys bigger than Tatum, and then I guess the ultimate goal is just do the guy and then finish off with Kobe, and then just stop the collabs, and then just work maybe with tops and stuff. But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of popularity with it. I'd hate to just say, like I'm giving up with it, but at the end of the day, it's not I'm giving up because it failed or anything. It's just like, man, it's too much.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. It's not like I've had enough, but it's like, man, like, you know, I would speak like, I end up speaking like, you know, I reckon in the last year, I've probably had dinner with my wife and daughter maybe 15, 20 times. So
that's no good. You need to prioritize. You have to. Comes a time where you've got to.
Yeah. So go back to like client work and just pick small projects that I want to do and whatever. But there will be more bet cards. Don't worry. There definitely will be. It's just it might not be collabs through directly with me. It'll probably be through, you know, tops or
through tops.
I mean, but then also maybe I can, you know, maybe I continue, but then I also just get someone else to print and ship the orders. You know, I don't want to be doing that stuff anymore.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, you mentioned that, I guess, the runway, and so you've got these different collaborations coming up, different ones scattered in between, and you just very quickly there sort of mentioned Kobe. So you're obviously, I mean, I would have assumed this anyway, but are you working on something in particular that's sort of like at the end of that runway, like you say, to go out with a bang?
Yeah, I mean, I could have done Kobe last year, but I don't know. There's legal things to it, but I've got a relationship with Kobe's management. The charity loves what I do. Like the fact that like when Kobe passed away, I have that much artwork done, like, you know, just personal work. I've never sold anything, never tried to. So many other artists, when he died, boom, let's try and make these.
I remember you saying this online. Yeah, I remember you saying this in terms of like, if you ever did do something, you would want to do it the right way, and you wouldn't want to be out there throwing things.
Don't cash in on someone's death.
Yeah.
And
I mean, so for example, I could sell posters and trading cards and whatever I want of Kobe tomorrow, and donate all the sales to the charity, the state, whatever. But I won't do it unless I have Vanessa's backing, Vanessa's approval, and then also she would like endorse it or like, you know, promote it or something. Because the end of the day is like, even if you donate 100% sales, even if I showed a bank statement saying here, like, you still get a lot of negativity, and people will think, oh, look, I'm cashing in and all this stuff. Like, so it's like, but if you have Vanessa's like ticket of approval and you can display that, show that, or maybe she tells people, at least
it just shows integrity, I guess, and it just shows that everything's done the right way. I think it's important to get all that sort of stuff right, no matter what you do. But with this obviously being, you know, it's a pretty big subject.
Sensitive sort of topic around the basketball circles. That you want to make sure you do it right, eh?
Well,
I think that's a good approach, you know.
Look, they're keen. Like management, charity, very like they want me to do it. They want me to do a Kobe collab. But we don't know. I think Panini still has his exclusivity. And I'm a little afraid of going to Panini. Like I have worked with Panini before. But I think they see me as more of a tops guy now. So I'm like, you know, I guess because I'm so aligned with tops, I guess I don't know, I'm a bad person or something probably to them. But yeah, I guess, I was hoping that at some point the exclusivity would expire or something. But, like you've seen Kobe's no longer with Nike. I think they're trying to stay away from big brands and companies that are, profiting a lot off his name, likeness, whatever. But yeah, I just want to do something, go out, and I think I can do something really cool. But yeah, there's also like a lot of issues in terms of like, the secondary market scares us because, you know, we don't want to create a trading card that becomes big in the secondary market, like there's also discussion like, I'm possibly able to, because I'm good with tops, like I could remake his rookie card, do that kind of stuff. So, but we don't want it to be a thing that becomes like a highly sought after thing. So the only way to do that is mass produce something, but I'm not in the position where I can mass produce anything just because I just can't physically do that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But that's definitely my motivation to get like a Kobe collab. And maybe, if it doesn't happen, well, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I don't know.
Something tells me it's meant to happen, and the fact that you treat it with the respect it deserves will probably serve into that. And
yeah,
I don't know. Sounds a bit philosophical, but I don't know. That's how I think. I think life works a lot of times. If you do the right thing and you treat it with the right respect, it's amazing how much stuff, an opportunity, whether it be artistic opportunity or financial opportunity or whatever it is. I think that stuff comes around if you treat it with the right mentality. So
yeah, that's a good comment there. So someone Cody mentioned only sell to previous customers first or something. I mean, there's ways that things that they're great ideas. That's something really good to do, to have it at like for previous people only or something, something like that. But there's plenty of discussions. I mean, hopefully, maybe like March, April, maybe next year something happens. But if something doesn't, I tried my hardest, but I just couldn't get it over the line,
Cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
That'd be awesome.
And the last question I actually had written down to ask is, do you have any female athletes on the collab
Good
horizon?
question.
No, that's something I get. Like, I don't know, this whole like equality stuff and like PC. It's a bit of a joke. Like, I do get attacked by some people on social, like, "Oh, why do you only do men's collabs?" And it's just like, well, I mean,
well, it's not excluding women. It's just opportunity comes around.
How many women's ones are going to sell? Like,
I mean,
it's the whole equal pay thing for NBA players. Like, look how much revenue the WNBA generates. Like, the pay is, it's a particular ratio of how much revenue that league generates. Like there's a mathematical equation there. It's got nothing to do with gender. Whereas your thing's probably similar. You're probably only going to sell maybe a few hundred cards. What's the point? You need to sell maybe a few thousand to make it worthwhile. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to be down tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
unless it makes commercial sense, there's no point.
Yeah, but to be like realistic, I mean, I've done netball sets. I've done women's cricket. I've done I've done a set with Matildas, like with other companies. So it's like I've done probably, if you want to do, like, I've probably done 900 female athletes.
Yeah.
But wow. I just haven't done collabs. So
yeah, right.
Cool.
Whatever. They're with other companies. So nothing recently, maybe like 4, 5, 6 years ago, maybe. But I've done female cards, but I won't do any female collabs at this point. I mean, I've done Ronda Rousey cards as female athlete. I've done UFC ring girls. I've done them. They've had their own cards. So I've done them. But I do actually get a little frustrated with. I've had a bunch of comments like that, but I've done them. I guess I don't really post about them too much. Yeah. But I did post my Ronda Rousey one.
Yeah, no, it's good because
the Ronda Rousey
one of the comments Rob makes in the chat is what I was thinking about too, in terms of a Lauren Jackson and Tyson Beck type of collab. I think would be interesting. But look, it's you've got to judge it on a whole heap of different levels. So I'm just saying it as a fan.
I mean, I'd buy one as well. There's 3 sales there that you got.
Yeah,
you know, we're like diehards, you know. So yeah,
one touches are pretty expensive these days. So
that's true. Yeah,
I've often wondered that actually. Like when all these cards, like they're trying to get my hands on one touches is like impossible, and then a Tyson Beck drop comes out. It's harder
to get sign. It's harder to get one touches and sign up an athlete. I can tell you that. But I can definitely go like non-branded ones or something else. Like, but I just know how specific and people are collectors and everything. And if they start getting my new cards in not one touches, they'll probably. I mean, there might be a core people, but that don't like it. But I don't know. I'm just trying to get them. I've got orders from October last year. I still don't have. Like, hope I get them soon. But yeah, I definitely I'm running thin on them. I try and I go on eBay kind of every second day and have a look.
Send Tyson your one touches, people.
Yeah, not at a stupid price either. It's funny. I started buying them at like $2 each, and now like people are trying to sell them for $10 each, and it's like Jesus. When you're buying them in bulk, like it becomes very
up quick.
Oh yeah.
There's a question there about team coach, and I'm doing team coach cards next. I'm working on team coach cards right now, and I won't be working on select because I'm exclusive to team coach, so I can't work on select for a few years. So team coach cards next year should be pretty good. I'm working on them, and they're looking pretty good so far.
Bloody Jonathan actually threw a good question out there.
He did.
Good on you, mate.
I'm quite you know, when they say like if you're a little bit shocked when you're online, my heart skipped a beat that Mr. Magdalenos asked a really good question. I've got the Sam Walsh. I don't know if everyone can see it here, but that's the Mighty Blue Baggers. And
that one we had to update. We had to update that one.
Peter B told me that he's one of the friends of the show and with the Cherry Crew and everything, and he actually said that Carlton got 2. I think it was Wiedering and Walsh. I think
most ridiculous thing ever because Carlton didn't even have a best and fairest last year. They held it. Well, when did they held it like a year after?
I know. But
so I think
usually because Carlton's my team, usually I get on here during footy season and just sort of vent my frustration. So not having a best and fairest was just another feather in our cap, the Mighty Blue Baggers. But anyway,
but I think we had to update. I think we didn't call Sam what I think we called it. I think it was like the young AFLCA. There was something. Yeah. There was something there. It wasn't called.
You're right. Yeah, it's got AFLCA Best Young Player.
Yeah, so we just did, and then when the best and fairest was awarded, we quickly made a card or something later. But yeah, it'll be just. I guess different cards, but just I in enjoying working for team coach, and I always like doing anything Australian because I'm from here and I don't shy away from being Australian, so I do prefer to do like Australian projects. They're very rare. They don't really come to me too often, so I definitely jump on it when I can.
Super cool. I wanted to pop up your details. You got a lot more than 800 followers on Insta. But yeah, obviously go and check out Tyson. If you don't already, I'd be surprised actually if anyone in this chat doesn't already follow you. But yeah, you can see some of the upcoming. Except for Carpet, yeah.
Because I don't even have Insta.
He doesn't have Insta. So I tell you what though, Carpet.
When I sign up,
Tyson should be
my first because Hendo might have to be my first, but you'll be my second.
Yeah. Oh, no, I want to put out, if everyone follows me I want to put out a statement for people to stop DMing me and asking me to show players their PCs. Because I'm getting sick of it. The amount of Tyler Hero fucking PC people that are telling me can you message Tyler Hero? I've got a sick PC. Can you show it to me? I'm sick of it. I'm sick. I'm honestly sick of it. Jason Tatum, everything.
What's wrong with people?
Oh, it's the most frustrating. The first few times it was cute, but now it's just getting ridiculous. Like
I can imagine that you'd be like, "Oh, that's hilarious! This person really thought I would send that." And after the 50th person, you're like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Every Jason Tatum card besides the one I did. So it's just like, like why? Like maybe if it was a collection of my cards or something, I was like, oh, okay. I still wouldn't send it to him, but yeah, I don't know. It's just even if I was best friends with him, I wouldn't even do it. It's a very strange thing that people DM wanting me to send their thing, their PC. But it's actually ridiculous the amount of people that do it now. I don't know why.
It's funny because we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, just in regards to, again, it's a bit deep, I suppose, but it's like people's ability to be in touch with other people, like even with gambling, like if a player misses a goal and you miss out on some money, people just jump into that player's DMs and start shit canning them. Like it's just they would never do that in person. And I suppose it's not a negative thing when they're messaging you about these cards, but it's the same theory of there's just no fence. It's just like I just waltz in and just ask Tyson if you could I'll just do us a favor, will you, and just show Tyler my card.
Like, yeah. Oh, if they're saying like check out my piece, like I'm fine. I don't mind looking at it. Like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. I don't mind that. But the fact that like and even if I it's just very weird. It's the same thing where it's just like, I get people, asking, like, I remember when it was like Kobe who came down to Melbourne. A bunch of people hadn't seen it. Oh, do you reckon you could get Kobe to sign something for me?
Yeah, just snap my fingers, man. I'll just sort it out.
Even when I see him, I'm not going to ask him to sign something for me. Like what is this? Like, so it's just like, yeah, that whole, I don't know. It's just people become so, I don't think they understand, even if you're best friends with like an athlete, which I'm obviously not, but you feel very uncomfortable. You're not going to be like, oh, can you autograph this or check out this person's PC or something?
Oh,
like, it just
make it even worse.
Yeah, very awkward situation.
But the fact that you've got that relationship with a player, I mean, on a very different level. But I got to know a few of the NBL guys when we were doing website shit years ago, and half the time you were talking, Nico, yeah. Half the time you talk to any of these guys, I think the fact that they actually enjoyed talking to you is because you didn't bring up all that sort of shit. Like that's why you were actually got along well with them, is because you were one person at least that didn't keep asking them this shit all the time. So it works both ways, I think. Like,
yeah, no, it does. And I think that like I definitely want to say super professional. Like a lot of the players have like follow me. Like even Justin Fields was talking to me the other day. He actually he loves the artwork of the cards, so that was cool. He just followed, everything was through his management, but he just followed and messaged me and said he can't wait for him and all this stuff.
Cool.
And he was mentioning, but it is cool to get that recognition from players. At the end of the day, it's like a lot of them, because they sit down, like Justin will sit down and sign so many cards, so like he's used to seeing a particular card, and I guess when he sees one a little different, he's like, oh cool, this is different, and same thing with Tatum, like the fact that it had like his son's name on it, he loved that, and there was like a reference to Kobe on it, so it felt personal. But a lot of those guys like having something more unique to them, but I never cross the line. I'll never ask for a favor or anything. So, and I think that's what helps, because I reckon once you do it, these athletes would get it every day, I reckon. And like you said, I reckon if you treat them, just keep it strictly professional. I won't ever jump into their DM and ask for anything, but if they reach out to me and ask for something, I'm more than happy to help, or whatever, answer their question. But yeah, I think that's the way to keep a long-term healthy relationship, is just, don't act like a fan, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, the old theory, they said this about television and all this sort of stuff for years. It's just, and especially like with any sort of media coverage or that, it's like act like you've been there before. Don't act like this is your one big moment, because just act like you've been there before, and treat it with the respect it deserves, and you'll do well.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned it. Like, I think one of the I remember my favorite AFL, I'm a Crows fan, so my favorite AFL player growing up was Troy Bond. You might not. You would remember. He played for Carlton.
Yeah. No, I do know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He was he's an Indigenous player for Crows. He kicked like 5 goals in this grand final in '97. He was like he was basically like Eddie Betts before Eddie Betts sort of thing.
Yeah.
He was really good. And I remember seeing him at like just a local shopping center, and I got really nervous because he was my favorite player. And I kind of like was a little frightened and everything. I was young, but then the actual first NBA player I met was Kobe, who's like was obviously my like idol and everyone. So it was actually, I think it was really good that I actually met Kobe, the first NBA player I met, because once I met him, I freaked out. Obviously, like I wasn't myself. I was a little nervous. I was shaking. But once I met him, everything was downhill from there. So it's like,
right.
I think it was, but I think it was the best thing to happen for me because once I met Jason Tatum a couple times, and it's like meeting just anyone. Like it's like meeting a
random. When you met
person.
Kobe, who's Tatum?
Yeah, because
was that is that the photo in reference to?
Yeah, back when I was a bit younger and skinnier, but and I had more hair.
What's he's checking out your get up there. He's checking out your clothes there or something, your jacket or something.
Yeah.
Look where he's looking at.
Yeah, I had his high school jersey on, so I think.
Oh, is that what it is? That's what he's checking out. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Lower Merion.
He was he's very like people that don't know him, or like he was very generous with his time. He definitely cared about his fans more so
that
than
smile, infectious.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Like, yeah, a lot of players just do not care about their fans, and like he was more than happy to meet. Like it was set up through his management, and you know, he that was like nearly 90 minutes after the game. They lost on a buzzer beater. I don't know, you probably don't remember, but like Iguodala hit a buzzer beater that game at Staples Center. So yeah, I thought he wasn't going to be in a good mood, but he didn't even
he could have been pissed off. Like,
no, it was funny because that's the first thing I said to him. I was just like, oh, you know, sorry, like it's because he had like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing to do and he did that for 90 minutes after the game, and then he saw me, and I thought, man, this guy is just gonna not be. Hang on, my dogs are barking. I'm just gonna shut the door. And yeah, no, that's the first thing I said. I was just like, oh, bad luck about it. I was like, oh, it sucks. You know, you probably don't want to be here talking to me. And he was just like, man, we're the number 1 seed. I don't even care about that. So it's just that was cool.
Yeah, how cool.
But yeah, he was awesome. But yeah, everything since, I think that's been really good for me because everything's just been casual ever since then.
It's a great point you make, I think, because once like you say, you can compare everything to that moment, and it's immediately easier. So you could calm yourself in a heartbeat, I reckon. So that's good. I dig it.
You can hear. Can you hear my dogs?
If you need to get those dogs, mate.
Yeah. It's usually my dogs on this end, so I know exactly how it feels. Usually I'm
somebody at the door.
Yeah, nah, no one's there. They just think my wife's coming home, and she's she's away for the night.
That's why this show is never done during the day, because the postie comes and my dogs lose their shit. I'm on a work call and all of a sudden it's just full blown, it goes crazy.
Yeah, that's the same. I've got the postie coming most days, and yeah, my 2 dogs just go nuts. It's it's pretty funny.
I love it. All right, man. Well, look, we might let you go so you can actually sort out the dog situation. But look, I really appreciate you. You know, we appreciate you coming on. I haven't even kept up with all the comments, but I keep glancing across, and like there's just a shitload of you know, positive vibes towards you and what you do, man. We see it in the Discord. We see it in the chatter. You know, you'll see some of it because, you know, you're the subject matter, but there's a heap more that goes on behind the scenes that you're not going to get to see. But let us reassure you that, you know, everyone's behind you and everyone really appreciates what you do. So
yeah, no, I really,
I second that.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I definitely, I do feel the love. I do really appreciate it, and you know, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do the Paddy drop. And I'm actually a little exclusive. I've got a meeting with him tomorrow, Paddy, and his team. We're trying to bring him out to like Australia next year to do a tour. So like I definitely am like, because I see the amount of love and people that are, I guess, supporting me by purchasing my cards, and I always want to give back. So I definitely see it, and I do appreciate it. It's in sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, but I mean, yeah, it is amazing. And I think obviously there's a few bad eggs in every kind of community, but like, man, like as a whole, I think the trading card community is so special. Especially in Australia. I see on Facebook pages and just general stuff on social media, like everyone's pretty supportive of each other. And, there's, yeah, I think it's really good. And especially like, we're not, a lot of people are, middle age, people, and I guess it's a fun it's a cool way to meet new people and make new friends and everything. And I've met a lot of people and made new friends over the last year, where I wouldn't generally, I guess working, a lot of people work at home by themselves now and everything. So I think it's done a lot of good for people.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Awesome, man.
Sweet.
Really good to chat to you, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Good on you, Tyson. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
See you, mate.
See ya.
Well, there you go. Well, the great man, Tyson Beck.
What a guest. What a top bloke.
He's a good bloke. He's been a good bloke for a very long time. And he's still a good bloke.
Man, look at the time. Hour 30 we've been going. Right.
Yeah, an hour and a half. We've got to pump through some content here, because we've got the F1s coming up at 10 p.m. So we can't shit the bed,
mate.
And
I'll have a 1 minute rattle on F1 if you want. That'll do it.
All right. No, we can do that.
Wrap it up.
Yep. All right. You're the boss. Let's go with that theory. Give us your while I bring up
sharp, mate.
While I bring up some graphics,
Lando and Carlos are going to go. Well, actually, what's happening? I've got bloody this Fox open here. Is it dry over there or wet? Can somebody let us know what's been happening? Over there. Actually, it looks dry. It looks dry. It looks like a standing start. Okay, so it's going to be on. So, I reckon Carlos and Lando are going to scrap pretty hard. Pressure's on Carlos. Mistakes could happen. George Russell could easily end up leading in the first lap.
Ooh, there's a hot ticket.
Yeah, there's a couple bets that could be made there in that statement. But I like Lewis just for the outright win, but he's no good to bet on as the money. But I think because I think he'll be pretty conservative. He'll try and stay out of all that heat at the start. But then once it settles down a bit, he'll start making his way past a couple of these drivers like George Russell and that Daniel. Hopefully, will get a good start. But Ferrari and Lando to shit the bed, Jonathan reckons. I'm sort of with him there. Sort of with him.
That'll be two sensical comments from Magda in one fucking episode. I'm already lightheaded. Fucking lightheaded. I'm sweating under this bloody beanie with so much
as far as Magda. Like you got Max Verstappen starting at the back, that could be interesting too. He could be desperate and trying to weave his way through fast, or he might.
Bottas is doing the same though.
Conservative, so yeah, Bottas doing the same, but he's not in a championship fight. Verstappen needs to get points, so he needs to get past, and he needs to get past the likes of Mazepin and Schumacher. Which could be they're having their own little battle. So that could be hairy just on its own. So anything could happen, but it looks pretty dry there. So it doesn't look like as it's not going to be slippery start. So Max could shit the bed. That's right. Yeah,
might just push it too hard. He'll be encouraged to. I got nothing else on the cards. You've shut the show down, mate. So
righto.
we're gonna wrap it up. So we got a good 20-minute run up into the F1s.
I need to just report so I can slip a few bets on. But what about the NFL this week? You may have to do a poll on the Baseline Discord to see if we get a bet going.
Yeah, we might have to.
Because that normally takes about half an hour to bloody get through. We'll be well into the race if we try to do that.
Yeah,
so we don't want to do it. Unless somebody's got a special this week, chuck it in the chat. If somebody's got like a special, chuck it in the chat, and like, yeah, but yeah,
we'll work it out. We'll wrap up though. So we got a good run up into.
Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks Dale.
F1
joining.
tonight.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, thanks,
Cody,
Dale.
Nico, Jonathan, Rob. Cardinals going to win. Rob reckons.
I saw Dan before too, and
Thanks
I saw Blake. I saw Mayo.
Yeah, Dan's there. Blake,
Nico, Cody. Yep. I saw heaps of names, but I was concentrating
Bailey.
on trying to make it a good experience with Tyson. So sorry for ignoring the chat.
Adam.
Wolves to lose tonight.
The chat goes.
Oh boy,
right,
it's all happening. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Very much appreciate you
Thank
being
you, everyone.
in the chat. It keeps everything going. Thanks again, Punter. You legend.
Chat you on the Discord.
For joining
Thanks,
me.
Hendo.
And we'll
thanks for organising
jump
that, man.
on the Discord. That's all right, man.
That was a good one. It was a ripper.
Had a lot of fun. All right, dudes and girls.
See you, everyone.
Cheers.